Hello and welcome to Uncommon Law, my podcast about true stories from my life experience of over 50 years as a lawyer and trial judge. This is a look at the law from the inside out, stuff they don't teach in law school. This is Judge Rudy Greco, retired Justice of the New York State Supreme Court. The rules for effective courtroom conduct are not surprising. One of the first rules is to keep your pleadings short and to the point. Nobody wants to waste time reading a lot of jibber-jabber, and judges will definitely appreciate and be kindly disposed to people who are brief and to the point. You want to support your argument with one or two cases. Citing 20 different cases that may or may not apply or apply tangentially doesn't help you. Get the strongest cases and just trim it down to one or two or three. The key being that they be strong and they be supportive and they be appropriate to the point that you're trying to make. Don't use cases that don't apply. If your case is not strong on the law, emphasize the facts. Argue the facts. That's what's important. On the other hand, if your case is not factually strong, well, then emphasize your legal arguments and concentrate on that. And that's the way to handle any deficits. There's no reason to lie, but you don't have to bring up your weaknesses. You should avoid them. And the way you do that is by emphasizing something else other than the unfavorable facts. Don't ever interrupt a judge. It just doesn't pay. The judge has the pen. He holds the pen. He wins all the arguments if you're going to start an argument. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to do yourself any good. So keep out of interrupting unless it's drastic. Don't interrupt your adversary. No matter what nonsense your adversary might be spewing, it clouds the record when you start interrupting, and it makes it unclear. Wait until the appropriate time to respond, and in the same time while your adversary is prattling on, formulate a good response for the record so that you do make a good record and you didn't waste your time with interruptions or anything else that are counterproductive. Try never to lose your temper in the courtroom. It's hard sometimes, but self-control is a winner. But loss of self-control shows you up as being weak. Always be punctual. Show everybody in that courtroom the proper respect, whether it's your adversary, the judge, the jurors, the court personnel. Always be prepared. Know your case. Don't ever walk in and say, "Judge, I just got the file." That is the lamest excuse that anybody can offer. It's like the dog ate my homework. You're a pro. Take the time, even if it's 5 minutes, to be briefed at least on the facts and the overall tenor of the case. Don't ever walk in with an excuse. Walk in prepared, like a Boy Scout. Be prepared. Always dress professionally and show the courts that you have proper regard for the surroundings and the institution and everybody else. And it makes you look good, too. People look at you and they judge you by your appearance. Avoid repetition. Instead of needless repetition, concentrate on emphasizing your point and making it heard, and don't overdo it. Don't exaggerate. When you exaggerate, it helps your adversary. It gives them a handle to say things that you overstated and use them against you, and your exaggeration, again, makes you look weak. If you have a difficult client, control your client. It's very important. And if you can't control your client, ask for a sidebar or a conference in chambers with the judge on the other side and ask for the court's help and tell him you're having difficulty with this particular individual and what can we do to help the situation, help you and help the case move on. Always avoid false flattery or any kind of flattery. Overdoing it is embarrassing. People see through it. You're not getting away with anything. If you're fawning over somebody, it's ridiculous. You put everybody in a bad position. That's for amateurs. Show appropriate gratitude to everybody that's participating in the courtroom, whether it be clerks, the judge, court officers, it doesn't matter, interpreters, and the spectators and the jurors, and your adversary, of course. It's always good to do that. And keep an open mind. Always be aware, because you could be surprised at things that pop up. And if you have a closed mind, you're setting yourself up for a knockout or a knockdown. Be aware of the possibility of something coming in that you hadn't considered before. And keep on your guard for that happening. Be cooperative. Tomorrow, you may need help. Somebody may need an adjournment. Somebody may need more time. Somebody may need some kind of an accommodation, one way or another, for a witness or anything else. You want to be a wise guy and play hardball. Very often, you'll find yourself the next day, you need the favor, and you'll have a friendly officer or a friendly opposition if you've cooperated and put yourself in a good position. Always be flexible with the case as it goes along. Go with the flow of the case. You can't force outcomes, but you can influence outcomes if you use what's before you in a positive way rather than just trying to discount everything. Always be firm in your position and give off an air of firmness and don't vacillate. Doesn't mean you should be hard headed, but you should be firm and convincing in the arguments you make. It's also important, especially when you're seeking damages, to have done the math in advance. Seek damages that are reasonable, that the facts support. And if you exaggerate, don't over exaggerate. If that's not a redundancy, you can ask for a little bit more than you're looking for, but keep it within reach. If it's ridiculous, it'll just be discarded and it does you a disservice. Very important, the two sides of the same coin, and no whining and no gloating. If you get a bad decision or a bad break, it's like a bad call in a ball game. Don't whine about it, okay? Nobody wants to hear you whining. And by the same token, if you've won in any controversy and you come out on the favorable side, don't be gloating or looking like you just ate the cat, or the cat that ate the mouse, rather. It's not the same. It's the same side of do everything. Treat winning and losing, even small victories in the courtroom, with the same grace. Always avoid theatrics or histrionics. Overdoing it, you're not kidding anybody. Everybody watches television now, and you're not going to get away with that kind of thing. Keep the theory of your cases simple. Start from the back and work towards the front. You get the charges that the judge is going to give, that you want the judge to give, the instructions, pattern jury charges, or pattern jury instructions, PJI, and look up the charges that the judge can give the jury and the ones that you want, and tailor your case and the proof to the end result that you want the judge to be able to reiterate, so that when you do that, the judge is in a position of summing up the case for the jurors and instructing the jurors. He's giving instructions along the lines of the theory that you proposed in the first place. So align your case that way by starting from the pattern jury instructions and work backwards. Teach the judge and the jurors your points. You're like a teacher when you're up on your feet in that courtroom and you want to get the points across. Don't make it obscure. Make it understandable and clear for people to grasp. Avoid making too many complicated arguments that water down the case. Again, keep it simple, which is a good rule in every respect. By all means, be collegial, and keep this in mind. Cases come and go, but lawyers and judges are here to stay. This case that you're having right now will be over, and months from now, you may meet that lawyer or that judge or both of them again, and you want to be welcome in that courtroom when you show up. And that's invaluable. You want to be treated like a gentleman or a lady. And the way you do that is you treat everybody like a gentleman or a lady with the proper courtesy and the proper deference. Especially for judges, I'm just going to pass on a little anecdote. That was a little lesson that was given to me by late Judge Alex Del Giorno, who was a Supreme Court judge in Queens County, and he lived in Astoria. He came here from Italy as a young man and worked his way through law school as a barber. And he said to me, Rudy, in a courtroom, a judge has tremendous power within reason. You can do almost anything you want. You go home and you have to take out the garbage and walk the dog. He said, but in a courtroom, you have enormous power. He said, and so you have to keep that in mind. What you want to do is don't hurt anybody. Just because they give you a gun doesn't mean you shoot everybody. You have the power, use it sparingly, and try to help everybody. And even if you have to make a decision that's unfavorable to somebody, make it so that you're not rubbing salt in the wounds and you're treating people with respect and you soften the blows, because that's a nice way to go on and to keep yourself and keep yourself in high regard with all of those who appear before you. And that was a great lesson. That was my mantra as a judge. I tried, in all cases, not to hurt anybody. No matter what I did, I tried to do it in a nice way. And it paid off because everybody came into my courtroom, was happy to be there, and there was no white knuckle experiences. Very rarely did anything get out of hand. Very rarely did I ever have to raise my voice. People wanted to be there, and they know they were going to be treated fairly and well, and they came in a relaxed and reasonable way. And that made your job much easier. So what's surprising? None of these rules are surprising. They're pretty much cliched stuff. But what is surprising is how many lawyers don't follow the rules of good and effective conduct. Thanks for listening. I'm Judge Rudy Greco. Court is adjourned.